There can be little doubt that Gianluigi Buffon is the greatest goalkeeper in Italian football history, but there also can be little doubt that the great Dino Zoff comes in at a close second. Zoff played for over 20 years, sweeping up an array of honours, and won an incredible 112 caps for Italy. He is truly one of the greatest ever to have stood between the sticks. This is a story of Dino Zoff, Il Monumento. Dino Zoff was born in Mariano del Friuli, northern Italy, to a family of farmers. He fell in love with football as a boy, dreaming of becoming a professional, and felt it was his calling. His talent as a boy soon became clear, but his father made sure that Zoff studied as a mechanic and had a backup plan in case the footballing dream did not work out. Fortunately, the dream, like so many footballs to come, would not get past Zoff. He was ejected from Juventus and Inter Milan for being too short, and after this, he was supposedly advised by his grandmother to eat 8 eggs a day to help him grow. While seemingly a bizarre advice, she may have had a point, as Zoff, over the next 5 years, grew by 33 centimetres and would be signed by Udinese. His debut was a 5-1 loss to Fiorentina, but he did not receive any blame for the goals conceded. He only played 4 times in his first season there as the club were relegated. The next campaign would be his breakthrough. Zoff played 34 times the next season, playing a large part as Udinese sealed promotion to the top flight. Zoff was gaining a reputation, renowned for his calm, no-nonsense demeanour, never being swayed by the shots he had to face, and focused so much on the organisation of his back line that he was able to quickly turn defence into attack. Zoff would move to Montova 1911, and also had his first moment of glory on the international stage, winning goal with the Italy under-23s at the 1963 Mediterranean Games. He would continue to impress at Montova, and he was considered as backup for Italy's 1966 World Cup squad, but would ultimately miss out. In 1967, Zoff made a journey down south to join Napoli, where he would spend 5 seasons in Serie A, and also get his big break on the international stage. He made his debut for Italy in Naples against Bulgaria in the quarter-finals of the European Championships. He kept a clean sheet in a 2-0 victory that meant that Italy would travel to the finals that summer. Italy drew 0-0 against the USSR in Naples, but would advance to the final by the bizarre virtue of a coin toss. They had faced Yugoslavia in the final. They drew 1-1 after extra time, but the replay 2 days later saw Italy win 2-0 to become European champions. Zoff had won the first of many trophies in his career, on only his 4th cap, and he was named goalkeeper of the tournament. Zoff would travel to Italy for the 1970 World Cup, but would be left with a bitter taste in his mouth, as he had lost his pace to Cagliari's Enrico Abatosi, and watched on the bench as Italy made it all the way to the final in Mexico, losing 4-1 to Pele's Brazil in the final. He would win back his place though, and soon made history of Italy. Italy defeated Yugoslavia 3-1 in September 1972 during a warm-up game for the World Cup qualifiers. It would be the last goal Zoff conceded for Italy for some time. The next month, Italy defeated Luxembourg 4-0, and it was the first of 12 clean sheets in a row that Zoff would keep for Italy. When the Italians next conceded, the run was brought to an end that saw Zoff go on a grand total of over 19 hours, or to be precise, 1,142 minutes, without conceding for the Azzurri, an international record that still stands today. Zoff moved to Juventus in 1973, now aged 30, and having not yet won any major honours at club level, he would soon make amends. He would win the Serie A in his first season, but Juventus would lose in the European Cup final to Ajax. The next year, he would travel to another World Cup, but Italy went out at the first round. He would, though, continue winning honours with Juve, adding a 2nd, 3rd and 4th Scudetto to his cabinet by 1978, along with the UEFA Cup in 1977. He would travel with Italy again to a World Cup, this time in Argentina. He would keep 3 clean sheets as Italy reached the semi-finals, losing to the Netherlands. They had reached the semi-finals again 2 years later in the European Championships, and Zoff, now reaching the tail end of his career, wanted to ensure he did not retire without winning the greatest trophy of all. By 1982, Zoff had won 6 Scudettos of Juventus, but had one more chance at the World Cup. Zoff would lead his side as captain. Italy would draw all 3 of their games in the first group stage, with Zoff's hands keeping them in it, and they narrowly progressed due to them having 1 more goal than Cameroon. The second group stage saw them drawn against holders Argentina and a Brazil side containing Socrates and Zico. Naturally, few gave Italy a chance. However, they held firm and defeated Argentina. The next game was against Brazil, and Italy had to win to advance. Only minutes in, Zoff's Juventus teammate Paolo Rossi headed the Azzurri in front, but 7 minutes later, Zoff was defeated at his near post by Socrates. Rossi put Italy back in front on the 25th minute, and as the game ticked on, the Italians grew confident of victory, but in the 68th minute, a long shot from Falcao flew in to level the scores again. 6 minutes later though, Rossi was there again, placing the ball into the net to seal his and Italy's third. Zoff caught the ball with a superb diving save to deny Brazil another equaliser, and he in his defence held firm to ensure Italy did not concede again. In what is heralded as one of the greatest matches in football history, Italy won to advance to semi-finals. Rossi netted twice more as Italy defeated Poland in Barcelona, and they would head to the final in Madrid, where they would be up against West Germany. At the Santiago Bernabeu, Paolo Rossi continued his fine form to put Italy in front, and 11 minutes later, Marco Tardelli netted a second, which sparked an iconic celebration for the midfielder. Altobelli got one more before full time, and although Zoff would be denied a clean sheet by Paul Breitner, it finished 3-1, and Italy were world champions for a third time. The now 40-year-old Zoff became the oldest ever World Cup winner, another of his records that still stands today. He lifted the trophy in the air, with Italy winning their first World Cup since shortly before the Second World War. It would bring to an end an incredible international career, with 112 caps, and it may have seemed like an ideal time for Zoff to leave the game entirely, but having won the greatest prize of all, he was hoping to win the second greatest, the European Cup. The European crown still eluded Zoff in Juventus, but he was hopeful he could cap off his career by completing his collection. They would reach the final, facing Ernst Happel's Hamburg, but unfortunately, a goal from Felix Magath was enough to thwart Zoff's dream, and sadly, the European Cup would never be in his hands. Juventus would, though, win the Coppa Italia, meaning that Zoff did at least leave his playing career with one more winner's medal. One of the great goalkeeping careers had come to an end, but Zoff was not done with the game there. He spent time on the coaching staff at Juventus before helping Italy qualify for the 1988 Olympics, and would climb the ranks to manage Juventus, guide him to UEFA Cup and Coppa Italia double in 1990, but despite this, was sacked after they finished third in the league. He joined Lazio as manager, later going on to become their sporting director. In 1998, he was appointed manager of the Italian national team. He favoured a more open style as opposed to conservative measures seen before, and helped bring young talent into the fold such as Francesco Totti and Gianluca Zambrotta. He guided Italy to the final, but suffered heartbreak as France levelled in the 94th minute, then won it in extra time for a golden goal from David Trezeguet. Despite being voted World Soccer Manager of the Year, he resigned soon after following strong criticism, especially from Silvio Berlusconi. Zoff would have brief spells in charge of Lazio and Fiorentina, but would not manage again after this. He would nearly lose his life in 2015 after suffering a viral infection, and said he could see the faces of his deceased teammate Gennetto Scirea and his late manager Enzo Berzot, but said to them, not yet, he was not ready. Many goalkeepers have achieved legendary status, but few even come close to Zoff. His longevity was remarkable, with him having an amass of records. Along with his clean sheet streak and being the oldest World Cup winner, he also had 332 consecutive Serie A appearances and was the oldest player to play in a European Cup final at the age of 41. His records are unlikely to be beaten, and thus he will be heralded eternally as one of the greats. Still going strong at 82, Zoff won more than the vast majority of players could ever hope for, being a star of 2 different great Italian sides. Gianluigi Buffon may be Italy's all-time greatest goalkeeper, but only one Italian has lifted both the European Championships and World Cup, and it is the man from Marius del Friuli himself, Dino Zoff. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video on the AFC Finners channel. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please have a look at the channel down below and check out the hundreds of videos available. If you'd like to support the channel on Patreon, you can do so in the link below for as little as £1 a month. Please let me know what you thought of this video and what topic you'd like me to cover next. See you next time.